Hey, Eric.
Hey, John. How's it going?
Oh, I'm alive. Perhaps barely. How was your week?
It was a good week. I did a lot of reading. I
Did you finished the Neil
I finished
Stephenson?
Termination Shock,
Okay, thanks. I
but I'm
didn't
only
remember the name.
halfway done with Book 11 of the Cradle series.
Oh, okay,
So I'm not finished with it yet, so no spoilers.
okay. No spoilers.
But I'm going to be grumpy when Book 12 isn't immediately available. I can tell already.
I.
Uh,
It is not a spoiler to say that you will be.
yeah.
I read it. Well, I wasn't in the middle of a different book, so I think I read it. I don't know, by last Thursday or something like that, Wednesday and Thursday, and then I bought the Audible, and so I started listening to it as well now. So anyway, fun.
Yeah. It was a great weekend. Weather was pretty nice, a little warm. We took the whole family up to the Johnston Ridge Observatory, which is on the north side of Mount St. Helens.
Okay.
My boy wanted to go take pictures, and so we went and took pictures, and we went inside the what's it called? The area inside that has all the displays. It's like the museum part of the...
the lodge? The visitor center?
Yeah, thank you. Visitor center was open, and, has all the maps on the inside. And so I was able to go and show my boy, this is where we hike, this is where we start, and this is the trail. And so here's, as we're outside looking at the mountain, like I say, and we pointed out where we crest so that he could see what side. And he had a good time. We hiked around a little bit. We didn't go a long hike. We just kind of stuck close to the visitor center and hiked around a little bit while he took a bunch of pictures. It was fun. It was a nice, pleasant, I think we went on Saturday. A pleasant day.
That's cool. I don't think I've ever been there. I know, like, you go to St. Helens at least once a year, generally. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
So I have a backup plan. So August 1st, I can try to get passes for September.
Okay.
And I have another buddy who's going to try to do the same thing. And he's like, I'll try to get passes for all. He's just going to try to get a bunch of passes because you can return passes, unused passes, up to 7 days prior to leaving. So he's like, I'm just going to try to get as many as I can. And so I said, well, earmark 2 of them for me in case I don't get, So I have 2 chances this August 1st this time. Because I'm going to be on vacation this August 1st. So,
don't mess up the time zones.
I know. I'll be in the mountain time zone. So be off by an hour.
Okay.
Anywho.
Well, we'll have to see.
All good though. Yeah. So hopefully I will get to hike it again this year. I haven't hiked it for 2 years. One was COVID and one was fires. So.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's been a couple of years since I've done it. Anyways, looking forward to that.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So Prime Day going on.
I heard that. Perhaps.
Did you acquire anything? Because America is all about buying crap off Amazon. So what crap did you buy off Amazon?
So this may even be funnier because I don't think I said anything to you. I don't think we set this up or planned this. I didn't tell you what I bought.
No.
I bought it in your presence.
What?
Yesterday, we went to lunch with some friends. And one of the things that happened while we were at lunch was I got a text from a coworker who was like, hey, by the way, there's a laser engraver on Prime Day for like $150 off. And so one of the times I picked up my phone, I saw that. And so I texted my wife and I was like, hey, I might buy this laser engraver. And, and just sort of to give her a chance to say, John, don't be a dumbass. But she did not respond. And so like 5 minutes later, it was 82% gone. And so I was like, you know, what the heck? So I did. So literally while we were sitting at lunch, the other time I picked up my phone, I was like, bye now. And so I bought a laser engraver.
Well, that is much more exciting.
Did I
bought a wok.
I ruined your day?
No. I bought a wok. So I'm remodeling the kitchen, right?
Okay.
And my new stove has an insert that you can pull out so that it fits a rounded wok. Instead of, most woks are flat bottomed so that they work with stoves that most people have. My new stove has a little insert that you can pop out and it's made to support a wok. So I bought an official rounded fancy wok on Prime Day, which that's all I bought.
I have not cooked in a wok in a very long time.
I love cooking with a wok because you just keep adding more stuff to it. And then at the end, you dump it. Yeah, it's stir fry. I love it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Okay.
Or noodles or whatever. I'm very excited about trying this out as soon as my kitchen is done. Drywall is finally finished. It's all textured. Cabinets start probably next week. And then we go on vacation.
And then
so they can do whatever they want while I'm gone on vacation. And when I come back, should be done.
It'll be done when you come back? Close. Okay.
Close to be done. Yeah. Well, maybe some paint
exciting.
And some finishing stuff. So.
Well,
yeah.
I am going on vacation this Saturday for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to be a porch pirate and come steal that laser,
the laser engraver,
I would not know or care for 2 weeks at a minimum. I'm just saying. It's supposed to be delivered on Friday. So my intention was pick it up from the porch, put it inside, and then deal with it in 2 weeks.
All right.
But anyway, I don't know, I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos as per normal. And so it's been on my, that'd be a fun toy to have. And another friend of ours that we used to work with, he got one, I don't know. Last time I saw him, which was a couple months ago, he brought down some samples of what he had done with that. I think he was doing a bunch of signs and things for a wedding. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Anyway.
Did you have one of those? It looked like the Starship Enterprise, and you would click it and you would turn it to the letters, then you'd click it and it was a label maker.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
That's what the laser engraver is today. It's it's a label maker, but super fancy now, right? Because everybody wanted the cool label maker. You were the kind of kid, or I was the kind of kid that wanted a label maker, and I labeled stuff. I would make that and label things. You're going to have your laser engraver, you're going to mess with it, and then you're going to, well, now what do I do with it? I'm going to have to start labeling things. J. King, John's Farm.
I do not even pretend that there's anything other than I like to learn how to use things and and I'll make like 4 projects with it. I'll learn, how to do it. I'll learn light burn. Anyway, the software at some point, and then and it'll sit on top of my X-Carve that has also been sitting out in the shop for the last 4 months without being touched. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I will have fun and I will learn something, and it's all about like learning how to do something. Anyway,
Exactly.
I've had like, I don't know what this other buddy got like a couple months ago, but I've had two other people that I know buy this particular model, which is why one of them texted me and said, "Hey, it's on Prime Day," and so anyway,
Fun.
it'll be cool. It'll be cool, but. So
I look forward to seeing what you laser engrave.
Me too. Me too. We'll see. Oh my gosh, Eric, I am going insane trying to get everything done before we go on vacation. Everything
I
seems
can
to be
imagine.
coming down to the wire, and it might or might not be done Friday, which is when everything needs to be done, because like Saturday morning we take off, our farm sitter comes and
That's all she
and
wrote.
and then yesterday our air conditioning, I don't know, gave up. And it has been very warm here.
At least we're not in other climates where it gets super hot.
Like Texas.
Yeah, or pretty much anything south of the 45th parallel.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
85 is a hot summer day, so it could be worse, is what I'm trying to say.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the. Does that hurt? Maybe you should cut your other hand, because then the other one won't feel so bad. I don't know. I was like, really? It has to go out now?
Yeah.
And then so last night I tried to call the people that it's a practically brand new furnace, like 2 years old. So last night I tried to call the guy that installed it, and he called me back this morning and was like, yeah, our tech quit, and we're not scheduling appointments, basically. I was like, oh, gee, thank you.
Ouch.
So called a couple other places. I got a, sorry, we're not scheduling. I got people hadn't called me back yet. You made me a recommendation to me this afternoon. Thank you. That was another place that was like, and I'm sorry, if you're not an existing customer on our maintenance plan, we do not have time in our schedule. I'm like, can I join the maintenance plan?
Can I? Yeah.
So then tonight was one of the other places that I had texted, or I both called and texted actually, because it was a mechanical place that had come out and done another a bit of work for me just a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. And so I had the guy's cell number of the scheduler, and they had been really nice, and we had texted back and forth, and so I called, left a voicemail, and then this like 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, no, 5 or 6 o'clock or so, I texted and said, hey, by the way, I left you a voicemail, but if there's any way you could make it out, that would be great. No response. Talking to my wife, actually was talking to our farm sitter, who was like, oh, when we had a problem, we called this other place, and so we're just kind of getting words of mouth. So I called the other place. No, I had to leave a voicemail, but they called me back and said, hey, well, we could be there on Tuesday. So done. I had a little bit of negotiation. Hey, are you going to be available on Tuesday? Do you mind if we schedule that? Can I give you a credit card? All the stuff that,
right.
Since we won't be in town. But got it scheduled on Tuesday. And then about a half hour after I got that scheduled, the other guy texted me back and said, I'll be there at 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So if he fixes it at 1, if he fixes it at 1, my plan is to pay the $79 service charge to the other place just for being willing to schedule something and be happy about it. But we'll see. But yes, at the moment I have 2 appointments, and I will be happy that I had people call me back. And we'll see what happens tomorrow at 1. A, whether they show up.
Right.
B, whether they could fix it. C, what it is. I assume it's I don't know, the Freon or the charge or whatever it is that they put in. I assume that's what the problem is.
Right. Well, I got my fingers crossed for you.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Anyway, I'm rolling my eyes. You can't hear that in audio, but I'm totally rolling my eyes because the other two things I'll mention. So I think I mentioned the solar. I'm doing a solar project, having solar installed, and
on your barn,
on the barn, and I also whatever, nothing has been easy. All the transformer work that they can't go there. Anyway, at the end of the day, they wound up having to bore from the barn to the house and attach it, essentially feed it to the house. Instead of going to the barn service, which is literally in the barn. But that only has a 10 kilowatt transformer, not a 25 kilowatt transformer. And he's like, do you want a 10 kilowatt system? Like, no, I want a big system. I want something that will offset my home power. So anyway, so they seem to have managed to bore from the barn to the house without hitting anything major, which is good. The locating person, when she was out here this week, I think it was like Monday or so this week, she had like 4 different colors of paint, and she was painting everywhere. Like, I'm like, I don't know where everything is. She's like, don't worry about it. Most people don't. She has like ground penetrating radar. She has the metal detectors. Right. She has the, she called it the old man stick, which is kind of a dowsing rod. She's like, I don't really like this. It's not very accurate, but I watched her walking around with it, and I don't know, whatever. I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, but the white marks were from that. And she was like, what do you have here? And I'm like, oh, that's a French drain. I actually know where that is. I put it in. She's like, where does it come from? I'm like, it doesn't. She's like, I can't get past here. And I'm like, that's because there's a pit there. It was just filled with rocks. That's the start of it. Anyway, well, she really seemed like she knew what she was doing.
Okay.
And there's like mystery pipes. Anyway, they managed to drill over. The whole point of it is that they managed to drill over. The panels are actually on the roof. They're going to come tomorrow. They're going to do most of the buttoning up, fill the trench. They had to like, sorry, I didn't know I had a sidewalk next to my house. I have like a slate path on the side of the house that is gravel with slate on top of it. And they lifted the slate and they had like a pressure washer or something like that, a big vacuum pump thing, whatever, that they used, except that there was a sidewalk underneath the slate. And so they had to kind of dig by hand under the sidewalk. And it looked like it was a not pleasant job. So I was like, well, okay. Anyway, inspection. If they say inspection should be done Friday, which I'm like, well, if it's not done Friday, then I'm not here. They've known this, like going up to the wire, and then they're like, no, don't worry about it. The inspector will come on Friday. I'm like, when? He's like, they come whenever they want. I'm like, are you going to be here? He's like, nope, they don't tell us when they're coming. I'm like, do I need to be here? Yep. I'm like, I'm not liking these answers.
All right.
And anyway, and then, so at least from what I understand, county comes and inspects that, yes, they did the electrical right. And then I get to schedule with PGE to, when I come back from vacation, come back and swap the meter for one that will accept the net metering.
Right.
And I signed an agreement with PGE already, actually today. that was all about, I don't know, seemed like pretty basic stuff. So I'm excited. That'll be good. Except that,
Cool.
like, we're running up to the wire, and like, I have no control over getting any of this stuff done, or. All
right. So AC, solar. Was there a third?
Oh, my neighbor is giving us, not giving. He's been haying our fields, and he's like, hey, can you do this? And I'm like, no. we only told him this weekend. We're like, we're gone as of Saturday. Like, we're not here. He's like, well, I guess I'll just have to do it. I'm like, thank you, please. But I've done a bunch of stuff to kind of prep for it. Hadn't really planned on it. And of course it'll all happen like right here, right now. And I need to get my Zen on and just be like, it's okay. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
It'll all work out.
Have a pleasant 2 weeks. Don't think about home, your Starlink. Don't think about anything. Just kind of relax.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Anyway.
All right.
We should actually talk about something other than John's troubles.
Okay. So, John, do you own a Honda?
I do not own a Honda.
Oh, neither do we. Well, no, that's not true.
I was going to say,
Honda.
I thought you, there you go.
We have a CRV, but it's a 2008 and it is not, wait, it is key fob.
So old it's not vulnerable?
No, I did look at the list. I don't think our model. Anyways, so there is an article. A security researcher has found what they are calling a serious vulnerability in Honda key fobs. And so when you click on the key fob, you can do remote lock and unlock.
Okay.
Well, what basically happens, at least with the Honda, is there is a rolling code that when you hit unlock, new code, and so it transmits the code between your car and your key fob.
Okay.
And the rolling code is so that someone just can't sniff the code in the air and then go recreate that, replay and do that. Well, apparently a security firm has, or a guy, Kevin 2600, has discovered that actually you can get a group of those codes together and then replay them at any point in time in the future, and it will follow suit. It will function. It'll unlock the car. And you can do this as long as you sniff the codes from whomever, the key fob while it's unlocking. You can go and it's a replay attack.
So I haven't actually read this article, but because they reuse the codes, because they don't use lava lamps for their random number generator, because it's predictable.
You can roll back. I don't know if it was time. It wasn't exactly clear to me either, but I assume you can roll back in time and just send those codes again, and they will work again with it. I assume the seed or something is I didn't dig into it in too much detail either. And the article I read I don't even think it actually said. I didn't go read the full blog post. I read a Vice article, and then I found a Bleeping Computer article which was actually a little bit better and had a little bit more detail in it. So I'll probably link to the Bleeping Computer article. Because that actually had an automotive journalist who went to try to replicate it and was able to replicate it on a 2021 Honda Accord. And he was saying, as long as the sequence, the sequence is replayed, it doesn't matter if days or months have passed, you can still resync and perform an unlock action. So someone could get into your car, But the kicker to it is whether or not you could get into the car is one thing, but you wouldn't be able to actually drive the car away because that needs to have that key fob in proximity. So you could basically unlock a car, but you couldn't start the car and drive away in the car. The two things that were interesting, the first article from Vice was a few days ago that I saw first, and Honda's initial response was, "We've looked into past similar allegations and found them to lack substance. While we don't yet have enough information to determine if this report is credible, the key fobs in the referenced vehicles are equipped with rolling code technology that would not allow the vulnerability as represented in the report. In addition, the videos offered as evidence of the absence of a rolling code do not include sufficient evidence to support the claims." So Honda initially is like, nope, they're lying. The Bleeping Computer article actually has an update today, July 13th, from Honda, who says, "We can confirm researcher claims that it is possible to employ sophisticated tools and technical know-how to mimic remote keyless commands and gain access to certain vehicles of ours. However, while it is technically possible, we want to reassure our customers that this particular kind of attack, which requires continuous close proximity signal capture of multiple sequential RF transmissions, cannot be used to drive the vehicle away. Furthermore, Honda regularly improves security features as new models are introduced that would thwart this and similar approaches." So the initial Honda response was, "I don't believe you." And the update today from a different article was, "Okay, yeah, you could do it, but no one's going to drive your car away, so you're fine." So
it's a good thing nobody wants to just get into a car and get everything out of it. Like that's not a thing.
Yeah. So that's what I had today was software is everywhere. Key fob attacks. I think we talked about key fob attacks on Teslas before too. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It seems like we've talked about a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
so there you go.
It's just a radio. And, software defined radios are a lot easier to get and play with these days than they were, even, 5 or 10 years ago.
I have one on a Raspberry Pi.
Right?
So I played around with them. Yep.
All right. Well, I brought 2 articles tonight. The first is just a small one, but it is the fact that, quote, "nearly all industrial-scale Bitcoin miners in Texas have shut off their machines as the companies brace for a heat wave that is expected to push the state's power grid near its breaking point." So,
ouch.
I feel like I'm kind of like punching down on all the crypto things, and so maybe I need to be a better man. But
well, this is a non-trivial amount of energy that it was using from the Texas grid. The numbers amazed me.
Yeah. Evidently, Bitcoin mining in Texas, it says it accounts for over 1% of the total grid capacity, which is
insane.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. I mean, it's less painful for them to shut down mining operations at the moment with Bitcoin prices in the toilet than it would have been when Bitcoin was at $40,000.
I wonder what percentage of the Bitcoin network is going offline, right? Because the whole point of Bitcoin is you have a whole bunch of machines,
consensus protocol,
running math and deciding this is good. If you take out a big chunk of those, is there a nefarious group in Iceland who's like, we can now take over a chain and change, I don't know.
Is the 50% attack more feasible?
Yeah. I assume not with so many, but still,
yeah.
it's humorous to think about.
It is. So, so it named some of the players. It says Riot Blockchain, Argo Blockchain PLC, and Core Scientific operate millions of energy-intensive computers to secure the Bitcoin blockchain network. Oh, they're securing it. Oh, sorry.
And earn rewards in the token.
Yeah.
Don't forget that part.
Yeah. All
right.
Anyway, my opinion is well known. So anyway, the whole point here is, well, A, Texas's grid is fragile, and B, I didn't know that, quote in this article was that Bitcoin miners flocked to the state because of the low energy prices. Didn't know that.
Right.
But I also didn't know that they meaning the grid. It says ERCOT. I don't know what ERCOT stands for. Is able to request that they turn it down. And again, it's not clear that that's a. Well, actually, I take that back. There's a quote later in the article that says the operator has been working with Bitcoin miners who are required to turn off their mining machines when the state faces energy shortages. So, I how much of that is?
Did they think of that ahead of time, or is that a result of, hey, we're running out of energy last year, and who was doing it? Oh, these 1%ers. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. But it does say that it says the all-time peak record for energy usage was set Friday with 78,206 megawatts, breaking the previous unofficial all-time peak of 77,460 megawatts that occurred on July 5th, so last week. So, this is a good time to just say, you should enjoy this summer, because this summer is probably the coolest summer of the rest of your life. So
until we start pumping sulfur in the air.
That's right. You finished. You got to the big gun. You weren't to the big gun when we
termination shock. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway. All right. My second article was something that posted by JR in Slack. And this is about a guy arrested in Miami for selling, allegedly, $1 billion worth of counterfeit Cisco hardware imported from China and selling it on Amazon and eBay.
That's just insane that you can get up to $1 billion worth of sales before somebody says, hey, this isn't actually spelled CISCO. It's spelled CYSCO. What? Wait a second.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure how much actual, mislabeling. This is my Rolex watch.
I know.
It was versus because it said that they were taking older Cisco hardware,
right,
and then
painting it, putting lipstick on the pig.
Yeah, packaging it, quote, updating it to make it look like newer Cisco devices.
Right.
And this Aksoy, Ron Aksoy, created at least 19 companies to, essentially sell this hardware.
Amazing.
And it was sold to, it says, customers of Aksoy's fraudulent and counterfeit devices include hospitals, schools, government agencies, and the military. So, there's not a lot of small businesses buying Cisco hardware, I wouldn't think.
No.
I guess the other thing, it took a long time for them to crack down on him. And it didn't say in the article why it took so long.
Yeah.
because it says the complaints date back to at least 2013. So, I mean, it's been 9 years. That's how you get to $1 billion, you know. It's only $100 million a year.
This seems like a lot of work.
Well,
but
it says he was buying the equipment at 95 to 98% lower than prices of genuine Cisco products. So, you know, if he's buying a $1,000 machine instead of, and I'll just assume a 50% markup, but I don't know what the actual markups are. But, you know, so if it would have, you know, wholesaled for 500 and he got it for 95% of that, you know, that's basically buying a $1,000 machine for $25.
Yeah.
A $1,000 machine is in air quotes for those of you who can't see me at the moment. It said Cisco was aware that it was going on from 2014. So within not terribly long after the 2013 hypothetical start date, to 2019, the company sent 7 cease and desist letters. I'm surprised that there wasn't more than that, but maybe that's part of the whole customs stuff. It also says that the Customs and Border Protection seized about 180 shipments the Chinese counterfeiters tried to send to Aksoy over the past 9 years. And then just last year, so it says in July of 2021, U.S. agents executed a search warrant and raided an Aksoy-operated warehouse, seizing 1,156 counterfeit Cisco devices.
Amazing.
And yet he was only just arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Oh, I forgot. I guess the he's the CEO of a different company. And so then these other 19. So I guess hypothetically, but maybe the company that he's CEO of is also a front of some sort. Who knows? I don't. But wasn't outlined in the article that I saw. So anyway,
okay.
I thought this thanks to JR for posting this in Slack, but just crazy. Oh, and I thought maybe I didn't pull it out. It said the operation generated over $100 million in revenue. I guess that means profit, since it said earlier that $1 billion worth of devices, and that Aksoy received millions of dollars for his personal gain. So,
well, I'm going to assume if you're doing that much business, you're not a one person operation. You probably have employees. You have 19 businesses. You're paying probably taxes, all sorts of stuff. So I would assume that that's not a one-man show, but who knows? Who knows? Don't be evil, even if Google is now. So. Don't be evil. All right. Yeah. All right. Should we have some fun stuff?
All right.
So we should do a joint fun one, because I don't know what else could be fun this week. There's only one thing that can be fun this week.
The images are pretty spectacular.
The James Webb Telescope, first images coming back. Amazing. I watched JR again had posted in Slack, hey, the first images, the press conference is going on. So I watched the NASA press conference with President Biden and Vice President Harris, and the NASA administrator reveal the first photo from the James Webb Telescope. And I've been using that as my Teams background, my Zoom background at work today, because it is pretty cool. But there are plenty of other images now too. You're getting more, and I think as you have noted, and I've seen as well, here's what the Hubble saw, here's what James Webb sees, and this is, I mean, the difference is dramatic. So,
right?
amazing. Very cool.
Right?
Very cool.
It's hard to fathom. Maybe I'll make this the chapter art for this thing, but this is, I have to actually open up the website to remember what this is. This is the image of NGC 3324, which is the nebula. Let's see. What does it say? Called the Cosmic Cliffs. Webb's seemingly three-dimensional picture looks like craggy mountains on a moonlit evening. In reality, it's the edge of the giant gaseous cavity within NGC 3324, and the tallest peaks in this image are about 7 light years high. The cavernous area has been carved from the nebula by the intense ultraviolet radiation and stellar winds from extremely massive, hot, young stars located in the center of the bubble, above the area shown in this image. So, but yeah, there's a link to the Hubble image of it, and the Hubble image. I remember when you got to, we saw the first images from the Hubble, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was just amazingly gorgeous. And now this is like going from standard def to high def.
Yeah,
on your TV.
Super cool, super cool. So if you haven't seen them yet, go check out the new James Webb images. We'll put the links in there. The chapter art, super cool stuff.
They've only released, at least I've only seen the 5.
Yeah.
So the Carina Nebula, the Stevens Quintet, the Southern Ring Nebula, WASP 96b. Oh, I didn't read about this one. What is this? Ooh, I didn't read this. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has captured the distinct signature of water along with evidence for cloud and haze in the atmosphere surrounding a hot, puffy gas giant orbiting a distant sun-like star. The observation reveals the presence of specific gas molecules based on tiny decreases in the brightness of precise colors of light. It's the most detailed of its kind to date, demonstrating Webb's unprecedented ability to analyze atmospheres hundreds of light years away. While the Hubble telescope has analyzed numerous exoplanet atmospheres over the past 2 decades, capturing the first clear detection of water in 2013, Webb's immediate and more detailed observation marks a giant leap forward. That's really cool.
That is, yeah. All this stuff is amazing. So I look forward to more. I look forward to more.
Yes. Okay. Very, very cool. Very cool.
All right, dude.
All right, my friend.
Call it a show.
Call it a show. Have a good night. And I will talk to you, hopefully, from Europe next week.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see you.
All right.
Night,
bye.
John. Bye.